Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first regular Rainbow District School Board meeting for beginning of the 2024-2025 year. I'd like to welcome all trustees and guests that we have in the audience, plus all trustees that are on joining us online, and all those folks that are out in cyberspace. And we'll begin tonight with our land acknowledgement. The Rainbow District School Board would like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Anishinaabe, including the Atikameksheng, Ashanomic, and the Wahnapitae nations. We would like to acknowledge that we are situated within the Robinson and Huron Treaty of 1850 and want to recognize the inherent rights of the Anishinaabe that maintain these lands from time immemorial. And we'll start tonight's meeting off with the roll call. Director Bourget.
Trustee Dubosky. Present. Trustee Farrell.
Present.
Trustee Gibson.
Present.
Trustee Cosmerly.
Present.
Trustee McCauley.
Present.
Trustee Dewar. Present. Trustee Hunda.
Present.
Trustee Corbier-Addison.
Present.
Trustee Clement.
Present.
Student Trustee Nuchtai.
Present.
Student Trustee Wilson Ziegel.
Present.
Thank you, Director. Our first order item of business tonight is we need a mover and a seconder that the agenda of the regular board meeting from August 27th, 2024 be approved. That's moved by Trustee Dewar, seconded by Trustee Hunda. And we'll have a roll call, please, Director, or sorry, vote. Thank you.
Trustee Clement.
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison.
In favor?
Trustee Dubosky.
In favor?
Trustee Dewar. In favor. Trustee Farrell.
In favor.
Trustee Gibson.
In favor.
Trustee Hunda.
In favor.
Trustee Cosmerly.
In favor.
Trustee McCauley.
In favor.
Student Trustee Nuchtai.
In favor?
And Student Trustee Wilson Ziegel.
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you very much, Director. So one of the best duties that we have during the year is swearing in our new student trustees. So we're very honored tonight to have our two student trustees with us, Tia Nuchtai as well as Alexandra Wilson Ziegel. And I have a motion that we'll need a mover and seconder for, that Tia Nuchtai from Lockerbie Composite School and Alexandra Wilson Ziegel from Manitoulin Secondary School be appointed student trustees for the 2024-2025 school year. That is moved by Trustee Clement and seconded by Trustee Hunda. Now, before we proceed to the vote, Trustee Director Bourget will take us through the declaration of the oath of office.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. And hello, Tia and Alexandra. Welcome to your very first board meeting. Just for your information, I will read two pieces of information to each of you. The first will be the declaration of office for you as a student trustee. The second will be the oath of allegiance. Once you've both completed the declaration and the oath, we'll take a moment for both of you to sign the documents to make everything official. And we'll also take a picture to capture this very special moment with Chair Farrell and Vice Chair Dubosky. Following that, the trustees will vote on the motion that's on the table. So Tia, we'll begin with you. Be so kind to repeat after me. I, Tia Nuchtai,
I, Tia Nuchtai,
do accept the position
do accept the position
of Student School Board Trustee
of Student School Board Trustee
for the Rainbow District School Board,
for the Rainbow District School Board,
recognize my role and responsibilities
recognize my role and responsibilities
as a member of the board,
as a member of the board,
and swear to perform my duties and
And
obligations
and swear to perform my duties and obligations
within the parameters set out by
within the parameters set out by
the Ontario Education Act
the Ontario Education Act
and the Trustee Code of Conduct
and the Trustee Code of Conduct
established by the Rainbow District School Board.
established by the Rainbow District School Board.
Now we'll do the oath of or affirmation of allegiance. Are you ready? I, Tia Nuchtai,
I, Tia Nuchtai,
do affirm that I will be faithful
do affirm that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance to the Creator
and bear true allegiance to the Creator
and to our children.
and to our children.
I respect the laws of Canada and Ontario,
I will respect the laws of Canada and Ontario,
including the recognition
including the recognition
and affirmation
and affirmation
of the Aboriginal and treaty rights
of the Aboriginal and treaty rights
of Indigenous peoples in the Constitution,
of Indigenous peoples in the Constitution,
and to the Anishinaabeg laws,
and to the Anishinaabe laws,
customs, and traditions
customs, and traditions
of the people I represent.
of the people I represent.
Alexandra, are you ready?
Yep.
We'll begin with the declaration. I, Alexandra Wilson Ziegel,
I, Alexandra Wilson Ziegel,
do accept the position
do accept the position
of Student School Board Trustee
of Student School Board Trustee
for the Rainbow District School Board.
for the Rainbow District School Board.
Recognize my role and responsibilities
Recognize my role and responsibilities
as a member of the board
as a member of the board
and swear to perform my duties and obligations
and swear to perform my duties and obligations
within the parameters set out by
within the parameters set out by
the Ontario Education Act
the Ontario Education Act
and the Trustee Code of Conduct
and the Trustee Code of Conduct
established by the Rainbow District School Board.
established by the Rainbow District School Board.
And finally, we'll do the oath. I, Alexandra Wilson Ziegel,
I, Alexandra Wilson Ziegel,
do affirm that I
do affirm that I
will be faithful
will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to His Majesty King Charles III.
to His Majesty King Charles III.
Thank you very much. We're going to have you both go to the podium. There's a pen there for you to sign these documents, and then we'll take some pictures before we pass the motion.
Well, thank you, everybody. So we have a duly moved and seconded motion. It was moved by Trustee Clement and seconded by Trustee Hunda. Thank you. That Tia Nuchitai from Lockerbie Copsit School and Alexandra Wilson Ziegel from Manitoula Secondary School be appointed student trustees for the 2024-2025 school year. And we will ask the director to do a poll vote, please.
Trustee Clement,
In favor.
Trustee Corbier Addison.
In favor.
Trustee Dabowski.
In favor.
Trustee Dewar. Trustee Farrell.
In favor?
Trustee Gibson.
In favor.
Trustee Hunda.
In favor.
Trustee Cosmley.
In favor.
Trustee McCauley.
In favor.
Student Trustee Nutstein.
In favor.
And Student Trustee Wilson Ziegel.
In favor.
The motion is unanimously carried.
That's great. Congratulations. Okay, moving on with regular board business. Agenda Section B, preliminary declaration of pecuniary interest. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Presentations tonight, we don't have any. Section D, reports from closed meeting of the board. Nothing to report tonight. Old business, Section E, previous meetings, minutes. We'll need a mover and a seconder that the minutes of the regular board meeting held on Tuesday, June 17th, 2024 be approved. And that is moved by Trustee Cosmerly and seconded by Trustee McCauley. Any errors or omissions? We will move to the vote. Director Bourget.
Trustee Clement.
In favor.
Trustee Corbier Addison.
In favor.
Trustee Dabowski.
In favor.
Trustee Dewar. In favor. Trustee Farrell.
In favor?
Trustee Gibson.
In favor.
Trustee Hunda.
Sorry, in favor.
Trustee Cosmley.
In favor.
Trustee McCauley.
In favor.
Student Trustee Nutstein.
In favor.
And Student Trustee Wilson Ziegel.
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you, Director Bourget. Reports and recommendation from board committees, there's none tonight. Moving on to new business, Section F, updates. Our first update is from the director for the 2024-2025 Guide for Students and Parents and Guardians. Director Bourget, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. I have a brief update as item F1. There are no slides for this. I'll just give a little verbal report here. But today, just for all trustees to be aware, the administrative procedure for personal mobile devices use was shared by us with trustees, staff, parents, guardians, and students. As you know, the Ministry of Education set out requirements for the development of this procedure. We also released a survey in the spring, and we received over 2,000 responses. 84.5% of respondents felt that social media use at school is a concern. 85.5% of respondents were concerned about the distractions to teaching and learning created by unapproved cell phone and social media use at school, and 87% of respondents were concerned about the impact of time spent on phones and social media on student mental health and well-being. So everyone did receive a copy of it. I won't reread the whole administrative procedure, but I will just touch on a few key points very quickly. For students in grade 6 and below, personal mobile devices are to be stored out of view and in a personal space and powered off or set to silent, do not disturb mode throughout the full instructional day. That's a ministry requirement. Also, for grades 7 to 12, personal mobile devices are to be stored in lockers or assigned personal spaces out of view and powered off or set to silent, do not disturb mode during instructional periods. Trustees should also know that access to social media sites as per ministry direction is restricted throughout the school day. Trustees, you should know principals will review this information with staff on the PA day this Friday and will discuss this procedure with students as school and classes commence next week. You will notice that there is no storage of phones in classrooms. This is for several reasons, which are all also outlined in the administrative procedure. And I will share some of those reasons with you right now briefly. The first reason that phones are not stored in classrooms is there's no funding for lock boxes, and our educational funds are much better spent in other areas. Second reason I'd like to share is that the time spent collecting phones at the start and end of each period is not a good use of instructional time. That could take easily 5 minutes at the start of the period and 5 minutes at the end of the period. 10 minutes out of every 75 minutes, 4 times a day, can add up to half a period per day in terms of phone storage and collection. We do want our teachers to teach, and we do value instructional time, so we think it's very, very important that phones just stay in lockers unless the educator says is needed for the lesson. We also heard strongly that being out of sight helps students focus, and our teachers and educational staff are not responsible for people's personal mobile devices. So those are some of the reasons why we went in that direction. The procedure also applies to our staff. We want to thank everyone in advance for their cooperation and leadership of our students and staff in this regard. And that's the brief update, but it is a timely one with regard to this change that's mandated by the ministry. I will say that I think that the vast majority of respondents feel it's a very good thing that the time spent in class is focused and that people are together and not distracted by other things. So we're going to support our staff and students with this change, and we think that it'll be very positive over time. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Bourget. Any questions for the director on that update? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item of new business, F2, which is the update or the guide for student parents and guardians that trustee or that the director is going to talk about now.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. So trustees, you will see the guide up on the screen. We're not able to zoom and focus on individual pieces of it. So if you do have the ability to call it up on your laptop to look at it more detailed, please feel free to do so. We will flip pages as I go. My purpose today is to give you an awareness of what's in the guide, not to read the guide to you, but I can't thank enough the efforts of Nicole Shred and Jen Bata and everyone who worked with them to once again provide a very excellent resource for our students, parents, and guardians. And I think it's a resource for our staff as well. So huge thanks to Nicole and her team for her leadership in this regard. So once again, we've produced a guide for students and parents for Rainbow Schools that contains important information that will serve as a reference throughout the school year. Our cover highlights technology. As many of you know, there's been a renewed focus on the trades and many opportunities available for young people in this pathway. On the cover, we have Jessie Doyle, a grade 12 student in the innovative integrated technology program and the specialist high skills major in information and communications technology at Lively District Secondary School. Jessie is preparing a Tormac CNC lathe for cutting. As I present the guide, I invite you to follow along. You will see the vision, mission, and values and priorities in strategic directions reflected throughout the document. We've also highlighted some content with a new icon to draw your attention to this information. As you move through the guide, you see that Chair Farrell encourages parents and guardians to take an active interest in their child's education. And I cannot emphasize enough how important regular attendance and parental guardian involvement is to student success. When at home, the school and the community work together, we maximize learning opportunities for students and we help them achieve their full potential as confident, caring members of society. When students are confident, they believe in themselves and their ability to succeed, and this is essential. Below the chair's message, you will see our trustees, and you had an opportunity earlier to meet our new student trustees for the school year. Earlier this evening, we are very fortunate to work with committed and dedicated trustees who care so much about the students and the communities that we serve. Our first priority as we begin the school year is to create warm and welcoming environments where all students feel a sense of belonging at school and a connection to their school community. Just like there are opportunities for students to participate in sports and clubs, there are also many opportunities for parents and guardians to engage in school life, including memberships on school councils. As we begin a new school year, I'd like to thank our parents and guardians for joining with our amazing administrators and dedicated and talented teachers and support staff to make this coming school year the best year yet. This page of the guide includes key contacts in administration. As you know, we have a strong leadership team, and we look forward to working with our administrators and staff on our shared goals, which are clearly articulated in our vision, mission, values, and priorities. Strategic directions and annual reports are available on the board website. Pages 4 and 5 highlight information about kindergarten, including the dates for information nights in January of 2025, childcare, before and after school programs, and a complete list of early on childcare and family centers in Rainbow schools. Please note that parents and guardians must contact service providers directly to confirm availability of programs. Page 5 also highlights information about community use of schools. This includes access to the Lancerdome at LaSalle Secondary School. Our secondary programs are highlighted on page 6, including specialized programs, Barrydown College, the Swakmok Native Alternative School, and the Adult Day School. Lockerbie Common School is launching a refresh of STEP this fall, which is reflected in the updated description of the program. The guide continues on page 7 with information about Google Workspace for Education, which gives students and teachers access to Gmail, Google Drive, and a variety of applications for teaching and learning. We included digital monitoring tips for parents. We also remind parents and guardians to visit rainbowschools.ca for news throughout the year. We have Google Translate on board websites and school websites, and this tool will help our newcomers access information in a variety of languages. We continue with 21st century teaching and learning on page 8, which highlights 2 administrative procedures, digital citizenship, and acceptable use of information and communications technologies. These procedures have been updated to include artificial intelligence. On page 9, we highlight what students and parents and guardians need to know about safe schools, video surveillance, controlled access, use of the internet and electronic devices, and definitions for things like lockdown, hold and secure, and shelter in place, and internal hold and secure, a term specific to us. We updated the information about our community threat assessment protocol. We are a protocol partner along with many other community organizations. We also added information about temporary classroom relocation, which may be required to support a student when in need. Also featured is the date of our Wear Pink Day, which will take place Thursday, September 12th, so please mark your calendars. Page 10 highlights equity and inclusive education. We've included the dates for Embrace Diversity, Free to Be Me conferences, information about culturally responsive and relevant pedagogy, and information about equity workshops that will be offered for grade 9 students. The page features a new mural at Northeastern Elementary School that was designed and painted by the talented artists at Cambrian College in a partnership with the school. From here, we move into Indigenous education as we continue to prioritize truth and reconciliation. The dates of the First Nations Advisory Committee meetings are outlined for the school year. We will mark the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation and Orange Shirt Day on September 30th. We'll wear orange shirts as we reflect on the impact of the residential school system. The next 2 pages of the guide focus on special education programs and services. There's also a schedule of special education advisory committee meetings for the year. You have often heard us say, what is essential for some is good for all. We have a perfect example here with Read and Write for Google Chrome, which has been purchased for all students grade 3 to 12. All students can benefit from assistive technology to help support their reading and writing. And on page 13, we're proud to feature a photo taken at the Challenge Meet in June, one of the highlights of the year. Page 14 highlights information on French immersion and core French. We have also added information about the DELF, which is an official international diploma which recognizes the French language proficiency of candidates for whom French is a second language. This leads into the values that are modeled, taught, and expected into Rainbow schools. Rainbow District School Board adopted these values, presented in English, Ojibwe, and French during consultations for Strategic Directions 2022 to 2027. The 7 grandfather teachings, humility, bravery, honesty, wisdom, truth, respect, and love, are braided together with resilience, equity, and community. These values promote the foundation for ongoing character development. We continue with student success. Page 16 provides an overview of how we're engaging students in new and innovative ways at the secondary level. We also feature information about the 40 hours of community involvement, which is a requirement to graduate. We have an updated list of dual credit offerings for this fall and this upcoming winter. On the next page, we share information about the online learning graduation requirement and the opportunity to opt out as well. Students can opt out of the online requirement by signing a form and taking a regular course. Also, there's information about de-streaming for grade 9. All secondary students starting this September will be required to take one broad-based technology education course in grade 9 or grade 10. This will expose students to the many program and career opportunities that are available in the trades. Certainly some amazing careers ahead for some. We move into our specialist high-skill majors programs. Here's an updated list of the SHISMs, as they're called, in a variety of sectors. New this year is nonprofit SHISM that will focus on community fundraising and environmental sustainability at Lockerbie Composite School. Page 19 highlights our interactive information session for grades 7 and 8 students taking place at Cambrian College on November 12th. Next Stop Grade 9, as we call it, is designed to help students make key decisions as they move from elementary to secondary school. Pages 20 and 21 focus on our commitment to take action on climate change as we continue to practice the 5 R's of sustainability: repurpose, reuse, refuse, reduce, and recycle. Rainbow District School Board wants to empower everyone with the knowledge, skills, and desires to act as environmentally responsible citizens. And trustees, as you know, we're very, very proud to share that all of our schools have achieved Eco Schools Canada certification, and that remains a goal for this upcoming year. We're one of very few boards in all of Canada to do so. We're also sharing information about our eco challenges with parents and guardians and the broader community to invite them to join us on this journey, because we all have a role to play in addressing climate change and the need to build on our efforts. We've also added information in the guide about Dare to Care programming in our schools, including the learning modules. Trustees will remember that Dare to Care engages the entire school community in contributing to warm and welcoming school environments where students feel a strong sense of belonging and connection. This is an elementary to grade 9 program. The next page is an important one, as it outlines changes to the Code of Conduct, including restrictions on cell phones, mobile devices, and social media. This page provides a summary of the administrative procedure on personal mobile devices that I shared earlier in this meeting and we shared with our families and staff this afternoon. You also see samples of signage that will be posted in our schools. School boards are required by the ministry to have signage in schools that communicate behavior expectations that are consistent with a safe learning and teaching environment. We've included links on this page to a video that includes and features students speaking about cell phone restrictions. That will need a little bit of adjustment, so if the link is giving you a problem, it will be rectified. We've also provided a link to the parent guide on the provincial code of conduct. As per ministry directive, we aligned our board code of conduct with the provincial code of conduct. In particular, we added information about vaping. We also included the requirements related to cell phone, mobile device, and social media restrictions as required by the ministry. We encourage parents and guardians to read this information so they have a clear understanding of our policies, practices, and procedures. As we move to page 30, we focus on revitalization of Rainbow schools, inside and outside, including work on playgrounds that is ongoing at Jean Hansen Public School and Valley View Public School. And we provide the links to the school drinking water reports, as well as our accessibility information. The next few pages focus on parents and guardians and how they can support their child's education. We included links to support learning together with resources for home. The next page in this section invites parents to volunteer and participate in a wide variety of activities at their child's school. On this page, we've listed the dates for board-wide events and information on parenting programs offered in the community. After that, we provide tangible examples of how parents and guardians can support their child's learning through regular attendance at school, which is absolutely essential, by making learning a priority, setting goals, and getting involved. All students receive a card calendar to take home, and we've included a snapshot of the calendar in the guide for reference. On page 35, we focus on math, certainly a priority across the province. Math at home tip sheets were produced by the board some time ago and remain very helpful. Parents can access the tip sheets on the board website. Free math tutoring is also offered by TVO Mathify, and this is an excellent resource that parents and guardians can access to get support with math for their children. As partners in education, we invite parents and guardians to consider joining school councils and parent involvement committees. We have a direct link to the school council nomination form on this page. We also have a link to the Parent Guardian resource that contains a wealth of information. We've allocated a full page to the Parent Involvement Committee meetings and topics. The annual general meeting will take place on October 15th, and we invite all parents and guardians to mark their calendars and plan to join us. Agendas and minutes of PIC meetings are posted on the board website. On page 38, we focus on allergies and asthma, including an overview of the plan of care developed for each student with anaphylaxis, asthma, diabetes, or epilepsy. As a result, we ask parents and guardians to avoid sending any nuts or nut products to school, as we have students with some allergies and we want to make sure that everybody's safe in our environment. Page 39 focuses on mental health and well-being, which are fundamental to student achievement. Parents and guardians can access evidence-based information and resources at School Mental Health Ontario. As much as possible, we added links for ease of reference. And on the next page, we have information about My Blueprint, the Education Planner, School Cash Online as well. We continue to encourage parents and guardians to register for School Cash Online to reduce cash handling in schools. The QR code on this page takes people directly to this product. It only takes a few minutes to register if people have not done so already. And getting to the end, page 41 highlights Rainbow International and Globalized Classrooms in Rainbow Schools. New this year is our Welcome Center for newcomers to obtain help with the registration process. It is open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Davidson Street entrance to Sudbury Secondary School. As more newcomers make Greater Sudbury their home and Rainbow Schools their home in all the communities, we want them to feel safe, valued, and supported. The Welcome Center provides a convenient space for newcomers to meet a friendly face to ensure they experience a successful transition. And trustees, I heard from someone who was at the Welcome Center just today about how wonderful it was to register 2 families and how appreciative they were of the safe, kind, caring atmosphere the Welcome Center provided, and the stress that was reduced as a result of all the great supports they had. So in closing, the guide contains and concludes with important dates, the school year calendar, a directory of schools. We indicate that regular board meetings in the Ernie Checkers boardroom, which we're in, are live streamed and archived on our website. And we also indicate that strategic planning committee meetings are also live streamed. And once again, I just want to say thank you to Nicole Charette and her team for this exemplary guide for students and parents. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Bourget. Are there any questions or comments from trustees? Trustee Cosmley, go ahead.
I'll just say great job.
And I want to add my 2 words to that too also. Great job. Thank you for all the hard work that's been put into this. It's always a fantastic document. Trustee McCauley.
Yeah, I echo what has been said as well. For our team with Nicole Charette at the head and the director for putting everything in proper context. I think this is it's a great document. It's almost that it's an exhaustive document. It covers just about all of the salient points that people need to be able to navigate through what is seen as often complex areas of the organization. And everyone is to be commended for the fine job that they did. Once again, the professionalism shines through.
Thank you, Trustee McCauley. Seeing no further comments, Director, F3, an update on the Executive Council portfolios and family of schools. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. This will be brief. I do want to share, trustees, as you know, at the system level, responsibility for our programming is a shared responsibility. Once again, Superintendent Leslie Fisher will lead the program for kindergarten to grade 6, and she'll be also responsible for the Ministry Math Initiative. Superintendent Maureen McNamara will lead program from grades 7 to 12. She's also responsible for the Student Success Initiative. And we're grateful for the tremendous experience and effective instructional practice, assessment, evaluation, and educational leadership of all of our superintendents. They're being supported by a strong team, in the case of the 2 superintendents I just listed, of consultants and coordinators at the system level, led by Principal of Program for K-6, Dan Kozier, Principal of Student Success, Melanie Bertrand, which is 7 to 12 initiative, and our new Principal of French as a second language and new teacher induction program, Brenda Carr. Superintendent Watchnuk will continue to lead special education programs and services, and is also supported by Principal of Special Education Daniel Williamson. They also have strong teams dedicated to student success and achievement. Superintendent Gilbo oversees our finance, information services, and facilities, supported by managers Nancy Chiquetto in finance, Dave Kitching in information services, and Natalie Musso and Sandy Ackroyd in facilities. And as you know, Tiffany Hayes, who works primarily in HR, continues as our senior administrator in that department. Nicole Charette oversees corporate communications and works very closely with Jennifer Bada Chartrand. And Senior Administrator Leslie Mantle will work with Executive Council to lead a variety of portfolios and provide support for schools, and she'll also, at this time, serve as Principal of Restart in O'Connor Park. Executive Council also works closely with Sarah Jokinen, our Mental Health Lead, and David Digby, our Health and Safety Officer. There are some changes to Superintendent Family Schools this year, primarily the Lively area. Superintendent Fisher will support Espanola, Manitoulin, and Lively families of schools, as well as math-focused schools. Superintendent Watchnock will continue to support Chelmsford, Confederation, and Sudbury secondary families of schools, as well as many alternative programs, such as Mishko, Swakamak, and the Attendance Center, to name a few. Superintendent McNamara will support LaSalle, Lockerbie, and Llewellyn Park families of schools, and Barrydown College. All of these changes and this incredible team will support our staff. Together, we focus on a strong startup and our ongoing efforts to move our vision, mission, values, and priorities forward in partnership with our talented and caring school administrators and staff. And I cannot ever tell you how sincerely I say this, that I'm very grateful to work with such a strong team of dedicated professionals. We look forward to a great year. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Any questions for the Director on that report? Seeing none? Oh, sorry, Trustee Dewar, I missed your hand. Go ahead. Absolutely. Thank you, Trustee Dewar.
Was someone speaking? Sorry, online we couldn't hear any of that.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Gibson. I'm just going to remind trustees that are here to speak into the microphone a little closer so that folks online can hear also.
That was my fault. Thank you very much for reminding me of that. I was just commenting that everyone on this executive team makes us look good, and I appreciate all they do. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you, Trustee Dewar. Okay, move on to our next section of our agenda, current expenditure borrowing resolution, and we'll turn the floor over to Superintendent Adam Gilmo, who can talk to us about the motion, and then we can move from there. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. This one working? There we go. My apologies. Thank you, Chair Farrell. This current expenditures borrowing resolution is presented to the board each year at this time, and approval is required to maintain the credit facility with CIBC. The amount is the same as in previous years, $7 million. We are not currently drawn into this facility as noted in the resolution. However, this does provide us with flexibility for any short-term needs that could arise due to timing of cash flow. So your approval would support having this credit facility available, and I'll turn it back to Chair Farrell to present the motion.
So we'll need a mover and a seconder for this motion, that the current expenditure, that the current expenditure borrowing resolution as attached be deemed to have been read 3 times and approved. We need a mover, and I believe that was moved by Trustee Corbier-Addison, and a seconder, Trustee Dewar. Questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll go to the poll vote. Director, please.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. Trustee Clement?
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison?
In favor.
Trustee Dabowski?
In favor.
Trustee Dewar?
In favor.
Trustee Farrell?
In favor.
Trustee Gibson?
In favor.
Trustee Hunda?
In favor.
Trustee Cosmely?
In favor?
Trustee McCauley?
In favor.
Student Trustee Nutstein?
In favor.
And Student Trustee Wilson-Ziegel.
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you, Director. Notice of absence. There are no trustees that are absent tonight. That takes us to Director's remarks, and I'll turn the mic over to Director Bourget.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. A few remarks for you that are quite significant here. So first of all, we'll say that I do hope that you all had a wonderful summer. We look forward to working with you, superintendents, administrators, staff, students, families, First Nations chiefs and communities, and all of our education partners as we continue our journey together. To begin, we've already started this, but I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to Tia Nuchtai and Alexandra Wilson-Ziegel, and just take a moment to tell you a little bit more about our amazing student trustees. And this was all with their approval. They're humble though, but we have to brag about them a little bit. Tia Nuchtai of Lockerbie Composite School and Alexandra Wilson-Ziegel of Manitoulin Secondary School co-chair the Student Senate, which includes representatives from the board's secondary schools in Sudbury, Espanola, and Manitoulin. Tia will also serve as the chair of the Indigenous Student Trustees Council in Ontario. Quite an honor. This is made up of Indigenous student trustees from across the province. The Council seeks to support Indigenous student trustees while incorporating Indigenous voices into the work of the organization. As well, it aims to educate student trustees surrounding the topics of Indigenous lived experiences, ways of knowing, and education. Tia, who lives on the traditional territory of Atikameksheng and Anishinaabeg, is enrolled in the Science Technology Education program known as STEP at Lockerbie Composite School. When she enters grade 12 this fall, in just a few short days, she will continue to contribute to the Student Council, which she co-chaired last year. Also, the Athletic Association and the Planning Committee. She also plans to remain a prominent ally in the school's Gay Straight Alliance. Tia has also been involved in a number of sports, including cross-country running, track and field, badminton, and volleyball. She served on the Rainbow District School Board Student Senate last year as Lockerbie's Indigenous Student Senator, a former Miss Teen Greater Sudbury and Miss Ontario Regional Canada. She has hosted multiple confidence and leadership building workshops for girls across Ontario. Alexandra Wilson-Ziegel will also play a provincial role this year. She has been selected as the Northern Schools Regional Representative for the Ontario Student Trustees Association. This role includes being a liaison between students in the North, as well as planning a conference. A self-described proud Haw-Eater, Alexandra has been involved in many extracurricular activities in Manitoulin Secondary School. She is the captain of the very, very successful robotics team, which we've all heard about over the years, and has taken on leadership roles in Student Council and Share Go Green, and writes a weekly column about school events in the local newspaper. Enrolled in the school's specialist high skills major in arts and culture, she's authored a children's book, which we've also seen at our table here, Robo Friends and the Mozone. And I'm still waiting for my no Mozone sign for my front lawn. But it promotes robotics and environmental sustainability. And a second book we hear is in the works. This summer, she attended the prestigious SHAD Canada program, and she plans to continue her school involvement in grade 12 as she assumes her second year on the Rainbow District School Board Student Senate. She's also involved in community cleanups, book drives, dances, and hockey. And she's been playing hockey for the Gore Bay Bruins since she was 4 years old. So this is just a little bit about our amazing student trustees. We want to welcome you and say we're just thrilled to work with you this year, and we wish you all the best in this new adventure. A couple other pieces for you trustees. I just want to share the tremendous amount of hard work our amazing administrative teams have been doing in preparation for the start of the school year. We are looking forward to the start of the school year to having classes return and see our students again. Our caring and talented staff will be back this week for professional learning that takes place Friday, August 30th in preparation for the start of the school year. As you know, the first day is September 3rd on Tuesday. We're so looking forward to seeing our students and welcoming our new and returning families into Rainbow Schools. As always, our schools will be safe and supportive places where students have fun while they learn, and we will continue to prioritize reconnecting mental health and well-being as our teachers engage with and support students to determine learning needs. We have a very strong team between the educators, administrators, and support staff who will nurture student success. As you know, public education prepares students to be active, confident, capable, and contributing members of society, and Rainbow Schools plays a critical role in the academic, social, emotional, and physical development of children and young adults. We know that when students feel safe, supported, and accepted, respected and connected in school and in their school community, when they have a sense of belonging, they are well on their way towards achieving their full potential. So I'd like to welcome our students and families to the upcoming school year, and I'd also like to welcome our newest school administrators. So I'm just going to share briefly administrators who are either brand new or new to their current school for your reference. And I'm always happy to go on visits with you if you want to introduce yourself to them or go see what's going on in classrooms. I'll just put that offer out right now that I'd be honored to take you on any tour anytime. So I'll go through my list. Sarah Blanchard, who will serve as Acting Vice Principal of Lansdowne. Sherry Toop, who will serve as Acting Vice Principal of Little Current. Tracy Skanes, who will serve as Acting Vice Principal of McLeod. Caitlin Angelhoff, who will serve as Vice Principal of Churchill. Anastasia Messier, who will serve as Acting Vice Principal of Jean Hansen. Lindsay Henderson, who will serve as Acting Vice Principal of McLeod. Kim Yaganich, who will serve as Acting Vice Principal of Princess Anne. Aaron Franz, who will serve as Vice Principal of Westmount. Daniela Catesta, who will serve as Acting Vice Principal of LaSalle Elementary. Kara Farrell-Menard, who will serve as Acting Vice Principal of Westmount. Jake Yuppie, who will serve as Acting Vice Principal of Lively. Kyle Gucher, who will serve as Vice Principal of Sudbury Secondary School. And Dave Sanamore, who will serve as Vice Principal of LaSalle Secondary School. We also have a few principal changes and new principals. Julie Balin will serve as Acting Principal of Asiganac. Tracy Chapman will serve as Principal of Little Current. Jen Harvey will serve as Principal of Churchill. Elizabeth Mack who will serve as Principal of Coppercliff. Elisa McNeil who will serve as Acting Principal of Lansdowne. Stephen Binkle who will serve as Principal of R.L. Beatty. Carrie Wilson who will serve as Principal of Valley View. Kelly McCauley who will serve as Principal of Walden. Cheryl Vincent, who will serve as Principal of Levac, and Brenda Carr, who will serve as our new System Principal of French as a Second Language and a new Teacher Induction Program. I can't state enough how excited our administrators and staff are about working with our students and families in their respective schools and their communities. We look forward to seeing everybody on September 3rd, and I will close my comments with sincere appreciation to all of you, our Board of Trustees. Your incredible support and commitment to our students and our staff truly makes a difference each and every day. I want to thank you for all you've done and that all you will do. When we all feel the excitement for the start of another school year, it's filled with positive energy, promise, and possibilities. We prepare students to become lifelong learners, achieving their full potential as confident, caring members of society. Thank you, Chair Farrell.
Thank you, Director Bourget. Are there any questions on Director Bourget's remarks? Comments? Seeing none, just want to say once again, welcome to our student trustees, and I hope you really enjoy your year here. Should be lots of fun. Next item in business is the Ontario Public School Board Association Directors Report, so I'll turn the mic over to Trustee Cosmerly. Go ahead, Trustee Cosmerly.
Thank you. Just a few things. First, I attended the OPSPA annual meeting and Canadian School Board Association Congress National Trustee Gathering on Indigenous Education held at the Harbour Castle Hotel in Toronto, July 2nd to 5th. I sent all trustees the highlights, or my highlights, I guess, of the OPSPA meetings on July the 11th. There are two things of particular importance to come out of the annual meeting that I'd like to note now. First, we have a new executive. Kathleen Woodcock from Waterloo District School Board is our new chair. Catherine Perez from Rainy River District School Board, our new first vice chair. And Michelle Arts from Toronto District School Board, our new second vice chair. Their term of office is 2 years. Second, the position of alternate OPSPA director is now eliminated, and the term of office for directors is now changed to match the date of OPSPA annual meetings, that is from July to June. Directors are expected to attend all Board of Director meetings either in person or virtually. The Canadian School Board Association Congress and the National Gathering were well attended, and there were some great presentations, especially by Dr. Marie Baptiste from University of Saskatchewan on decolonizing education, Director Leslie Dye and her staff from DSB1 on strategies to improve student attendance, and Dr. Jody Labana from University of Toronto, I believe, on generative artificial intelligence. Actually, there were several really great presentations on artificial intelligence, or on generative artificial intelligence. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not speak about the esteemed extravaganza presented by Turtle Concepts at the July 3rd Gala Dinner. It was absolutely fabulous, and I especially want to recognize student trustee Tia Nuchtai, who was one of the awesome performers. Just a reminder that the Northern Regional meeting will be held at the Valhalla Hotel and Conference Center in Thunder Bay on October 26th and 27th. Northern Region Chair Bill Steer is hoping for a good turnout of Northern trustees at the meeting. More information should be coming out soon about the meeting agenda, and you can check the OPSPA website for information about room bookings. OPSPA is once again petitioning the ministry to pay for attendance costs for Indigenous student trustees. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Cosmerly. Any question for our Ontario Public School Board Directors Association Director? Seeing none, thanks again, Trustee Cosmerly. And this is the section of our agenda where we go to student trustees reports, and I'm not sure if you have anything to say tonight. We don't want to put you on the spot, but the floor is open for you to say a few words if you'd like to. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say a very, very warm thank you to everyone here. Everyone here is incredible in their own ways, and I am so beyond thrilled to be a part of this amazing organization and stand along you trustees, chair, and director. And as for updates right now, there's nothing too crazy going on, but I know at Lockerbie we did have our grade 9 orientation today, so we had the cute little grade 9s come in at Lockerbie, and I know that the other schools are going to be having their grade 9 orientations as well. So that is just my little student trustee update for you.
I'm super excited to be here, and I'm super excited to meet some of you and see some of you again. And I'm really looking forward to not only working with you guys, but also working with the Student Senate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing about all the great work that you're doing with the students of the Rainbow District School Board. So thanks very much, and congratulations once again. Okay, so we're going to move into the next section of our agenda, which is trustee remarks and questions. We have a couple of items of business that we need to look after to start off with. So to start off with, Trustee Gibson has provided me with a request to waive the notice of motion on a motion that she provided me, and I have sent to and shared with the rest of the trustees. In order to deal with this motion tonight, we need to waive the notice of motion under bylaw 8.3.2. So this motion will need a seconder, and it will. Yeah, one second, please, and we need 2/3 majority to waive the notice of motion. Go ahead on your point of order, Trustee Gibson.
Thank you, Chair Farrow. I'm not seeking to waive notice. I'm giving previous notice.
You're giving previous notice.
Yes. So I'm ready to do that if you would like me to go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Trustee Gibson, I just need to ask, I'm not sure what the intent is. Is your intent to deal with the motion that you provided me tonight?
My intent is to give you notice that I'm going to move a motion, or two motions as the case may be,
correct,
at the next regular meeting of the Rainbow District School Board,
okay,
under bylaw 8.8, which I will say when I go ahead, if I'm given that permission.
Okay, you have the floor. Go ahead, Trustee Gibson.
Thank you. In accordance with bylaw 8.8, I hereby give notice that at the next meeting of the Rainbow District School Board, I will move to rescind Resolution 24-R64, adopted May 14, 2024, relating to the establishment of an ad hoc committee responsible for reviewing the Rainbow District School Board governance bylaws. And also, I am providing previous notice that in accordance with bylaw 8.8, I hereby give notice that at the next meeting of the Rainbow District School Board, I will move to rescind Resolution 24-R68, adopted June 4, 2024, relating to an ad hoc committee responsible for reviewing the Rainbow District School Board governance bylaws. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Gibson. So according to the bylaws, we are able to accept it as is. It'll be part of the agenda for the next Rainbow District School Board meeting, and there are no discussions on a notice of motion at this time. Thank you very much, Trustee Gibson. Our second item of business is I'm going to turn to Trustee Cosmerly. Trustee Cosmerly has provided me with a request to waive a notice of motion on a motion she provided me and I have sent to the trustees. In order to deal with her motion tonight, we need to waive the notice of motion under bylaw 8.32. And this motion will need a seconder and requires 2/3 majority to waive the notice of motion, and then we can deal with the main motion. So first of all, we need a seconder to waive the notice of motion, and that is seconded by Trustee Dewar. We will move directly to the vote, and of course, this needs a 2/3 majority for us to go to the main motion. Director Bourget, please roll call, or vote. Yes.
Clarification. Let's go over that again. I know we're rushing through it here. I want to know what I'm voting on, and I don't have a clear understanding of
Okay,
it right now.
I can explain that to you, Trustee McCauley. So, in order to have a motion dealt with at the table, you need to give notice of motion as an individual trustee. Usually, what Trustee Gibson just did, she's given us a notice of motion to go to the next meeting. We can deal with motions on the floor tonight that Trustee Cosmerly wants to present if we waive the notice of motion. And so what we're voting on right now is to waive the notice of motion. It has to be moved by Trustee Cosmerly and a seconder, and 2/3 of the trustees present have to support it to waive the notice of motion. If the notice of motion is not waived, we will have to deal with this motion at the next board meeting.
Thank you. I think I've got it straight.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Cosmerly.
Sorry, can we just read what the notification of motion is so that people know what they're voting on? Thank you.
Okay. Just give me 1 second to find it here.
I've got it here.
There it is. Okay. So the motion that we'll be voting on tonight is that the following trustees, blank, 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 will be named as members of the ad hoc committee that will be struck on August 26, 2024, to review and recommend revisions to the trustee code of conduct to meet the new ministry regulations. That's what the motion will be if we waive the motion.
Point of order.
Yes, Trustee Gibson.
Just a request for information. Can we vote to waive notice to vote on a motion that has blank, blank, blank in it?
No, that was me just being creative. It is going to be filled with names of trustees who want to sit on the ad hoc committee.
I respect that. If I may respond.
You may respond.
But how will we pass the motion to waive notice for that particular motion when we haven't decided what words the motion will actually contain?
So, Trustee Gibson, what I'm going to do at this point in time is, and I take your point respectfully, what I'm going to do at this point in time is I want to deal with the notice of motion first, and then we can deal with your request at that point in time.
Okay, just supplementary if I may.
Yes, you may.
So we're voting on whether Trustee Cosmerly can bring a motion, whatever motion is decided.
That is correct.
After this.
That is
Just
correct.
that we're voting that the member has the right to move a motion even though they didn't follow what's in the bylaw regarding notification of motion to the chair. Is that correct?
No, that is not correct, because I believe that the bylaws have been followed correctly. Trustee Dewar.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, just a point of clarification, please. If I might, I think I've got it on. It's a notification. It's not a notice of motion, but a notification. So she's giving us the notification that she's going to be having. We have to, if we want to put a motion on the floor, provide notification that this motion is going to be put forward. What we're voting on is a vote that allows us to waive the notification. the
That is
prior
correct.
notification and to put the motion on the floor for consideration this evening.
That is correct.
Thank you so much.
That is absolutely correct, Trustee Dewar. That's why I was a bit reticent to read the motion before we actually
Point
got
of
the notification
information.
waived. Trustee Gibson, yeah, go ahead, please.
How does what Trustee Dewar said differ from what I said? I mentioned notification of motion. I asked, has the requirements for notification of motion been met?
They have been met.
But we're voting to waive them. So
That is correct.
they were met.
Under
so
8.32, Trustee Gibson, we followed that to a T.
if I could just ask my question, if the requirements were met, then why are we needing to waive notice?
The requirements were not met. Sorry, just give me a second. If you look at 8.3.2, individual trustee notification of motions. And so a trustee may give the chair written notification of motion along with an explanatory rationale regarding this matter respect to the trustees have a right to vote on. The notification regarding any matter with respect to the trustee has a right to vote. Where possible, trustees are asked to provide the notification to the chair 2 days prior to the meeting. That is the part that has not happened. That's why we have to move to the notification. Notwithstanding the above, the trustee may bring a motion at a board meeting without prior notice, providing 2/3 of the majority of those present are eligible to vote, and waive the notice of requirement. I have had enough discussion on this. We are going to move to the vote. We need a seconder for this motion. That's seconded by Trustee Dewar. Can we have the vote, please, Director?
Trustee Clement.
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison.
In favor.
Trustee Dabowski.
In favor.
Trustee Dewar.
In favor.
Trustee Farrow.
In favor.
Trustee Gibson.
In favor.
Trustee Hunda.
In favor.
Trustee Cosmerly.
In favor.
Trustee McCauley.
In favor?
Student Trustee Nuchtime.
In favor.
Student Trustee Wilson Ziegel.
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you, Director. So that moves us to the actual motion right now. And Trustee Cosmerly, you have the motion, and I will read it for you. You'll move it, and we'll need a seconder afterwards. So the motion is that the following trustees, and I think what we should do right now is ask trustees who are interested in sitting on the ad hoc committee to identify themselves. So any member that is interested in sitting on the ad hoc committee should identify themselves. I see Trustee McCauley. Just 1 second. Trustee Dewar. Trustee...
Excuse me, Chair Farrell?
Trustee, 1 second, Trustee Hunda. Trustee Cosmerly. Yes, Trustee Hunda, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but could you just, I'm aware, but not everyone is, perhaps maybe make it clear what it is that we're, I think we needed to hear it first, and then we would put our names forward. Like,
Okay, Trustee Hunda, I appreciate that, but the chair has been asked to provide a more specific motion, and just leaving it blank is not adequate. So I want to, before we move to the motion, make sure that we have trustees' names in the motion so that we are following our rules and bylaws correctly.
okay, I understand. Thank you. I'd like to add my name then, please.
Trustee Hunda? I'm still looking. Trustee Clement? Trustee Gibson? Trustee Dabowski? Anybody further? I want to make sure that I have everybody. Trustee Corbier-Addison, did I see your hand up? No. Okay, I'm just going to check one more time. We have Trustee McCauley, Trustee Dewar, Trustee Cosmerly, Trustee Hunda, Trustee Clement, Trustee Gibson, Trustee Dabowski, and Trustee Farrell. Okay, now I will read the motion, because we've identified who those people are, and the motion reads that the following trustees, Trustee McCauley, Trustee Dewar, Trustee Cosmerly, Trustee Hunda, Trustee Clement, Trustee Gibson, Trustee DeBoski, Trustee Farrow, be named as members of the ad hoc committee, which was struck on August 26, 2024, to review and recommend revisions to the trustee code of conduct. Trustee code of conduct to meet the new minister's regulations. So that's moved by Trustee Cosmerly, and we need a seconder for that.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Trustee McCauley. Any discussion? Trustee Cosmerly, go ahead.
She did, I don't. Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm sorry, we have an amendment to it. We are going to add Trustee Corbier Addison to the names of the trustees that will sit on the edit committee. Okay. Trustee Cosmerly.
So I just wanted to speak to the motion, and I have provided the rationale. This was sent to the chair last night after our special board meeting yesterday and was distributed to trustees today. My rationale was that at yesterday's special meeting of the board, trustees approved a motion to establish an ad hoc committee to review and recommend revisions to the trustee code of conduct. However, interest was not solicited at the time for membership on the committee. Given that the Ministry of Education has imposed a timeline of August 28th for boards to revise their policies regarding trustee code of conduct to comply with new ministry requirements, and given that trustees approved a motion to send a letter to the ministry stating that our board is in the process of reviewing our code of conduct policy in accordance with the formal review process identified in our governance bylaws, it's important that the board begin the revision process soon. Therefore, I'm respectfully bringing this motion forward so that we can get the membership established and we can move forward. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to the vote. Director Bourget?
Trustee Clement?
In favor.
Trustee Corbier Addison? We'll come back to Trustee Corbier Addison. Trustee DeBoski?
In favor.
Trustee Dewar?
In favor.
Trustee Farrow?
In favor.
Trustee Gibson?
In favor.
Trustee Hunda?
In favor.
Trustee Cosmerly?
In favor.
Trustee McCauley?
In favor?
Student
favor.
Thank you, Trustee Corbier Addison. Student Trustee Nuchtai?
In favor.
And Student Trustee Wilson Ziegel.
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you, Director. Okay, so now we're at trustees' remarks. Anybody have any remarks that they want to speak to? Trustee Corbier Addison, you have your hands up. In favor. We got it. Thank you, Trustee Corbier Addison. Once again, trustees' remarks. Trustee Hunda, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. I'll keep this really quick. I just want to add my congratulations to both Tia and Alex. I want to apologize as one of your trustee mentors. I feel horrible that I'm not there. I was very much looking forward to it, but I'm actually keeping you alive from the most horrible summer cold I've ever had, or I would have been there. I was very much looking forward to it. I just want to
Sorry,
add.
my phone.
I just want to add.
Just in favor. Yeah.
I just want to add my excitement about continuing to work with you. I've had the pleasure to work with both of you with Student Senate last year. I know you're going to be terrific additions to our table, and I want to thank you for stepping forward and being the strong student leaders that you are. I also want to welcome everybody back to another school year, exciting times. And as we all know, and I think we forget just how busy it is for all the the people in the background and how teachers, custodians, our admin, how much work goes into getting this up and running for another new and exciting school year. I want to take this time to recognize, and I know he's not going to be happy, but our director. While we were not having as long as a break as our legislation, we did, I think, all hope that we enjoyed some downtime. But I here to tell you, our director did not really enjoy that much time. I think he might have possibly had approximately, I'm going to guess, about a week off steady, because there's always things to be being done behind the scene. And I want to take the opportunity from myself, and I hope on behalf of all of you, for all the work that he did with the survey. There was over 2,000 surveys, he told us, that came in, that he went through each and every one to come up with the work that he brought forward to us, and with exec council that was brought forward to us today on the ministry mandate on cell phone usage. And then again, we got this and I thank Judy Cosmerly for all the work that she's put on this as well. But we got this last minute mandate for the code of conduct, which is not a bad thing. I'm fully in favor of it. And we have been for some time wanting to work on our code of conduct or update it or look at it. And that's all fine. But it was certainly an unrealistic, as is noted by pretty much every board in Ontario. It's an unrealistic finish date. But I want to thank our director again for the work that he did for us on our behalf, to, I believe, will put us in a spot maybe ahead of others in the province on getting this up and done. I do appreciate the work that you've done, Judy, through OPSPA to make sure that we're all sending out the same message on this. And again, I want to thank our director for all the work that he puts in to make us look so good coming in September. Again, I want to welcome everyone. I want to thank our administrators for the work that you did. We've had some contracts work going on. I want to thank Tiffany. It's summer isn't all sunshine and margaritas for us all, but I just want to make sure that we mention those behind the scene. And of course, Nicole, the work on the on our calendar is profound. It's been very, very held up very highly throughout the province. And I just again want to say thank you for those. I look forward to a good school year, and I want to thank all those that had a part in that. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Hyundai. Further trustee remarks? Seeing none, thank you. I will move on to the chairperson's. Sorry. So first of all, I want to take an opportunity just to recognize the Vice Chair of the Board, Linda Dubosky, for being elected Grand Chief of the Anishinaabeg Nation. We are so very proud of you, Trustee Dubosky, for all the work that you've done. Yes, I think we should give her a round of applause. Absolutely. And I just wanted to say, on behalf of all of us, congratulations, how very proud we are of you. And also draw your attention to that part of your trustees package tonight is a letter that was written by Elaine Johnson, who's the chair of the Indigenous Trustees Council, to Linda, congratulating her also. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Also part of your package tonight too is a letter that I wrote on your behalf to our new incoming Ontario Public School Board Trustees Association Chair Kathleen Woodcock. So that has gone out to her to congratulate her and thank her and tell her that we're here to work with her. I think also tonight too, people saw today that the letter that was requested by the Board of Trustees to the Minister of Education has been finalized. I want to say thank you to the work of Director Bourget, as well as Nicole Charette for helping us put that information together, and that letter is to be widely distributed to all that will listen to us. So thanks very much to staff for that. So I'd like to just continue with my remarks on a really high note. So on behalf of the trustees, I wanted to extend my congratulations to a basketball star, Silas Swords, who recently competed in the Paris Olympics, in being selected for the senior women's national basketball team. The former Llewellyn Park Secondary School student made history. At 18 years old, Sila was the youngest ever female basketball player to represent Canada at the Olympics. And wow, does she have a fantastic career ahead of her. And I happened to see her score her first basket. So that was really, really cool. I'd also like to send best wishes to Lockerbie Composite School alumni Lance Keiderman as he competes in bocce at the upcoming Paris 2024 Summer Paralympics. Lance got interested in the sport in high school. The games are the culmination of a six-year journey marked by determination and dedication to the rigorous demands of training and competition. What an accomplishment for both athletes, something to be proud of. Huge congratulations goes out to both Sila and Lance from all of us at the Rainbow District School Board. So as we head into the 2024-25 school year, I want to extend my warm welcome to all students and families. Parents and guardians are encouraged to take an active interest in their child's education. Ensuring that your child attends school regularly is a good place to start. When parents and guardians value education, students value education. There is a strong correlation between attendance and achievement. We also invite community partners to help us mentor and nurture their future workforce. When home, school, and community work together, we maximize learning opportunities for students and help them achieve their full potential. Now, our youngest learners kicked off the school year yesterday with kindergarten camp. The 4-day program is running for 3 hours per day at a number of Rainbow Elementary schools. Welcome to the class of 2038. Wow, does that make me feel old? So for those of you who have not already done so, there is still time to register. Parents and guardians are encouraged to contact their area Rainbow schools as soon as possible, given that classes begin next week. I also want to extend a special and a sincere welcome back to all our teachers and our educational support workers and our cleaning staff and everybody who works so very hard in Rainbow schools to help make our schools great places to teach and great places to learn. Through their work, they bring our vision, mission, and values to life each and every day. We appreciate all that they do on behalf of our students. And some important dates to remember: a friendly reminder that our first professional activity day for 2024-25 is this Friday, August 30th. Labor Day takes place this Monday on September 2nd, and the first full day of school is on Tuesday, September 3rd. And staff and students in Rainbow schools will wear pink on Thursday, September 12th, as the Rainbow District School Board marks its 17th annual Stand Up Against Bullying Day. We invite everyone in the community to join us in Wear Pink on September 12th. And I want to wish everybody a wonderful, successful start up to the school year. And that concludes my remarks for this evening. So moving on in our agenda, we have some information and proposals. There are reports that are attached from officials and staff. There's tenders, a request for proposal. There's a tender for Princess Anne Public School and some non-staff communications. We have a list of future meetings. I'm not going to go through those future meetings. They're there for your perusal. But suffice it to say, we're starting off pretty quickly with a number of meetings next week. And that includes our agenda for tonight. I want to say thank you to all trustees, and it's always a pleasure working for each and every one of you. And with that, if I could have a motion to adjourn. Moved by Trustee Doer that we are